Well, we begin with the midterm elections, officially 100 days out. Let's take a live look here at Capitol Hill and the White House. Decisions between these two could impact your vote. More than campaign ads that will fill the airwaves. Senators have work to complete before their summer recess. At stake is the president's SAVE Act. That includes providing a photo ID when you vote. There's a never-seen-before $1 trillion+ Defense Authorization Act, a funding bill to keep the government open, and a stock trading ban for members of Congress. NewsNation's Tom Dempsey is live for us in Washington, D.C. Good morning to you, Tom. Talk about the context of this legislation here to the midterms, as well as a new court ruling that will impact votes at the ballot box.
Hey, Anna, good morning from Washington, D.C. Well, before we get to Election Day 100 days from now, President Trump wants Republicans in Congress to go big, passing things like voter ID legislation and defense funding. But on the other side of this, the leader of the Senate Republican says the votes just aren't there for those things at the moment. So that's led to this sort of rift between the two sides. And actually, overnight, we saw President Trump post about this to Truth Social, writing, quote, writing to the Republican senators, quote, terminate the filibuster, which the Democrats will do as soon as they get the chance, and pass the Save America Act and everything else, including the budget and upcoming debt ceiling. Do it now before it is too late. This follows these comments earlier this week.
The Senate is a place that you send things when you want them to die. We can't do this, and we're not going to take this any longer. We're not going to take it. You know, I'm trying to be nice. Trying to be really nice.
His patience is running out. He wants to see as much of the Save America passed as possible by the August recess. The House did its job. The Senate needs to do its job, too.
Now, part of this push for the president includes wanting Congress to pass a plan that would provide over $70 billion in defense and intelligence spending, as well as billions for the Save America Act, which would require proof of citizenship when registering to vote in a federal election and presenting an ID when actually voting. This plan passed in the House earlier this week, but Senate Majority Leader John Thune, the leader for Republicans, has raised a lot of concerns about getting enough support for the plans to pass in the Senate. In comments to reporters after those remarks from the press secretary, Thune said, quote, maybe she or somebody else ought to get on the phone and get the votes, right? It's 50 around here. Before adding, quote, instead of pointing the finger at Republicans, they might think about going after the people who are stopping it on the floor, which is the Democrats. And if there are any Republicans they think are gettable, get on the phone. So for now, Thune says the Senate should be focusing on avoiding a government shutdown, and then the Senate can get to those other plans. But it's going to be really interesting to watch how this evolves over the next few days and weeks. Anna?
Yeah, and how it impacts things at the ballot box as well in a few months. Tom, as President Trump is weighing whether to restart major military combat operations against Iran, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is set to fly to D.C. on Tuesday to meet with President Trump. What can we expect?
Yeah, so this NewsNation has confirmed that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will be here in D.C. to meet with President Trump. And this is going to be their first face-to-face meeting since this war with Iran began earlier this year. And this all comes after that temporary ceasefire between Iran and the U.S. collapsed. And we saw the U.S. military conduct 13 straight days of strikes. The war's impact on global oil supplies continues to raise lots of concerns. Iran has targeted tankers going through the Strait of Hormuz. And just this week, the Houthis in Yemen announced a blockade in the Red Sea versus Saudi Arabia. So the U.S. accuses the Houthis of being a close ally of Iran, and now the war could widen even more. But again, consider the timing of all this. The war has so far claimed the lives of 18 U.S. service members, and just this few days ago, President Trump attended that dignified transfer. But we will be watching that meeting closely on Tuesday with the Israeli leader. Anna?
All right, NewsNation's Tom Dempsey live for us in our nation's capital. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.